So this is David's page, and actually Dave's done a great job of his website. It looks really good. You should be very proud of this. It's a really nicely done website. So kudos to you for that. It looks good. So, Google. How on earth do you get your website to rank on Google? Where to begin? Well, let me start with what Google wants, because it's always best to start from the point of what does Google want. Okay, so Google wants, let's just do, Google wants your website to do three things, and you should write these down because these are really important. So Google wants your website to be relevant, meaning if a searcher, somebody who comes to Google, goes to your website, will they find what they expect to find? So if a searcher is looking for a back brace, for instance, and they come to your site, is that what your website is all about? Is your website all about back braces, or have you somehow made a mistake or misled your customers, even worse, and it's about something else instead? Okay, so that's the first thing it wants. It wants your website to be relevant for the searches that are being performed, because it wants to provide Google customers with a good search experience. That's thing number one. Thing number two is it wants something called recency. And recency means that the content on your website is new and up to date. There are billions of websites out there, and as such, Google has to constantly evaluate the websites that it looks at to make sure that the content is up to date. The only way it can do that, because there's no way it could stay up to date with every different category and niche and thing online, so the only way it can do that is looking at when you post things onto your website. It makes a educated guess about the information on your website and how useful it is now based on when you posted it. So that's recency. Third thing is frequency. So Google wants your website to be constantly updated with new information. And again, the reason for that is because Google wants you to stay up to date with what's happening in your field. So by posting things frequently on your website, once a week as a minimum, what you're telling Google is that your website and the content on it is bang up to date. So they are the three pillars of website SEO for Google, and that also applies to most other search engines as well. So you've got to do that. That's the first place to start, David, by making sure they're done. All right, so given that that's a given, let's go and have a look at your site. So what I'm doing now is I'm just seeing what Google can see on your site. Is your site indexed by Google? So to do that, I put site : and then your website without the HTTPS, etc. All right, so Google has seen your website and has indexed your website, which is fantastic. So we know that Google has had a look at it. Let's just see what's in Google's cache. That means what's Google storing for your website? What does it store about your website? Anything there? Let's do a text-only version, see if we can find that. Well, so that tells us that Google isn't really able to look at much on your website. So that's not good. So let's have a look at why that might be the case. So a couple of tools that you will need. So probably the most important things you can do next, based on what we've just seen so far, is go to Webmaster Tools. Webmaster tools, and it's here. So either Google Webmasters, and you want to make sure, actually I'll give you the link for that. You want to make sure that your website has been sent to all, has been submitted to Google Webmaster Tools. You definitely want to do that. Second thing you definitely want to do is make sure you've got Google Analytics code on your website, so Google knows that you're using all of its services. And let's just scroll back again. And one more. Here we go. So the other thing you want to check is that you're using the full secure HTTPS protocol. So now it's a secure website, which you are, so that's also good. And then let's go back one more again. So just be tagging these things off as I kind of talk about them. Next up is these parts here, dunk, oops, and dunk. So those two things here. That's like your title and your description on your Amazon listing, and Google looks at these and looks at them a lot. You've done a good job on these. So you've got Pro Performance Plus, Posture Corrector, Back and Neck Pain Relief, which is awesome. The Posture Corrector Plus is a fully adjustable clavicle based, blah, 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 blah. That's pretty cool too. So they look good. I definitely think you've done a good job on those. And the final thing I would look at as well, let's just go to the mobile friendly and just have a look on it, if it's mobile friendly. Dun, dun, dun. Because most searches on Google are done on mobiles now. So you want to make sure that your website is mobile friendly. So let's just take the link and go over to search.google.com/test/mobile-friendly. Let's just test it. And that's going to tell us how your website fares on Google when somebody's on a mobile device. Google is pretty much all in on mobile, so it's incredibly important to make sure that your website operates really, really well. And it is, so that's great, looks good. Looks really, really nice actually on mobile, so you've done a good job there. So that's the things that I always check. They're your starting points for your for your foundations, if you like, for SEO. So that brings us back to, how do you get your actual product to rank? Well, now we come back to the three keys to this, which is relevancy. And I would say you have got a relevant website for the search term posture corrector, if that's what you're optimized for. I'd say that's a relevant search term for that. Posture corrector there, posture is there, posture corrector is there. So that's good. Recency and frequency. So your next job is to do two things, because I can see actually down here, let's go and check out. And I don't really want to go to Instagram, but I will. Your next jobs are to keep posting stuff onto your Facebook page, where you're linking back to your website if you want your website to rank. And of course, you can do the same thing on your Instagram. Nice job, by the way, on here. Very nicely done. Yeah, you're kicking ass. I love it. That's good. 37 posts, 43 people. That's good. My website seems to be slow for some reason. And also to post content onto here. So that's kind of where you're up to now. You've got to be posting your content onto here. The easiest thing to do is post your content onto your website and then share it onto your page. So post on here and then share on here. That's the easiest thing to do. And by doing that, you still get all of the advantages as far as Facebook's concerned and as far as Instagram's concerned, but you also then get to add new content to your website. And that's an easy little way for you to increase the frequency of posting. And then as you continue to do that, over time, your website will rise up through the search engines. Now, if you want to fast track that, Is Inner Circle different to Diamond? Yes, it is, but you get Inner Circle if you're in Diamond. If you want to fast track that, you need to build something called an SEO link wheel, and that's a topic of conversation for another time. But that's very, very solid SEO advice for you. So, David, I hope that helps. Nice looking website. Nice job on everything you've done. Very, very cool. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales I've used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.